Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I was actually hoping to do a couple more plant tours for you guys. I had a couple of them on my calendar planned out. But in case you are watching this in the future, I am filming this in March of 2020 and it's just not possible to film plant tours at the moment. So I have a couple videos planned here at home. If you have ideas for some more videos that you'd like to see while I'm here at home, maybe you have some questions or specific things you'd like to see or learn more about, please let me know those things down in the comments below. I will try to get those filmed for you in the next few weeks here. So today I thought I'd talk to you guys about some of my Hoyas that I actually have in semi-hydroponics, take you on a little tour of those couple of plants that I have, and how they're doing, how they're growing, how long they've been in the semi-hydro, those kinds of things. So I have actually found that the Hoyas do really well in the semi-hydroponics. I switched over one of my Hoya Cardosas to begin with, just because that was one that I had a duplicate of, and switched it over and started putting on new growth like crazy. And I thought, maybe the Hoyas actually really like the semi-hydroponics. Switched over a couple of more, and now pretty much every new Hoya that comes into my house, especially if it's a cutting or something that I've rooted, I will stick that straight in the semi-hydroponics, and you'll see now that spring is coming, they are putting on new growth. They have lots of beautiful splashiness to them. So I really think I'm a huge fan of actually planting those Hoyas in the semi-hydro. So hopefully you guys enjoy this little tour of my Hoyas in semi-hydroponics. All right, so I'm going to take you guys around. I have about 4 or 5, maybe a little bit more Hoyas that are in the semi-hydroponics. I'll just talk to you about like the condition they were in when I put them in the semi-hydro, what they've done since then, anything else that I notice. The keen-eyed among you will notice my Hoya linearis that I have here. This one I ordered from Plantarina. And it is beautiful, it is wonderful. It is not in semi-hydroponics. I've left it the way it was shipped to me, and it's doing great here. But this one is my Hoya Micrantha, or at least that was the way it was labeled when I received it. So this one was shipped to me as an unrooted cutting, so I rooted it up in water. And that transition from rooting in water to semi-hydroponics is a very easy one since the roots are already acclimated to the water. And you can see it is doing quite well here. It enjoys the amount of sun that it's getting. It's probably a medium to bright indirect light depending on the time of day. And it's really enjoying the semi-hydro. It's put on, this is a new leaf since I've had it in the semi-hydro. It's put on a ton of growth here, and you can see it's starting to put out some new little leaves. Hopefully if it'll focus. Trying to put on some new leaves there. So the Hoya Micrantha doing really well in the semi-hydroponics. It's adjusted and it's starting to put out a little new growth for me. And up here on my shelf of Hoyas, you can see my Hoya Cardosa, which is the one that I originally converted over to the semi-hydroponics. Now, when I got this particular Hoya, it was actually just these 2 leaves right there and right there. And a little bit of growth beyond that, but it really wasn't doing much. I had it in the window most of the summer, wasn't doing very much, and I decided, hey, let's convert this over to semi-hydroponics, see what it does. One thing I will note, it was putting on a ton of new roots in that time, so it wasn't doing nothing. But I converted it over to the semi-hydroponics, and it's put out these huge glossy leaves. And like I said, I've noticed a little bit more speckling on these leaves in the ones that are in the semi-hydro. And I might actually end up doing an experiment, potting up 2 very similar cuttings and seeing if the one in semi-hydro gets a little bit more speckling. I'm not sure if that's the semi-hydro or just this particular variety, and I wasn't noticing it on those 2 leaves initially. But yeah, there's my Hoya Cardosa in the semi-hydroponics, doing fantastically. Probably will put on a ton of new growth over this growing season. All right, up here I have my new little plant shelf in my plant room. You can see some of my plants need a little tending to. But yeah, I have my Hoya Red Buttons in semi-hydroponics, and again, this one I got as an unrooted cutting, and it was really just kind of these 3 leaves over here when I initially got it. And it's put on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new leaves since it has been converted over to the semi-hydro, and it's even got a little new growth coming in right there. Again, lots and lots of speckling on those leaves, and I'm not sure if that's a byproduct of the semi-hydroponics. But yeah, seems to be doing really extremely well. As soon as it converted over to that semi-hydro, just started pushing out tons and tons of new growth, and probably will continue to do that over the next couple of months. So I'll keep you guys updated on my red buttons. All right, here in my windowsill, now that it is a little bit more sunny, it's not getting quite so cold at night, I've moved a couple of these plants back to my windowsill. You can see my Hoya Mathilde doing so well over here, just pushing out tons and tons of new growth. But the one I want to talk about right now that's in the semi-hydro is my Hoya Sweet Scent. So I will go ahead and link to my Happy Hoya Days video if you want to know a little bit more about this particular cultivar. But yeah, you can see this one again was an unrooted cutting. When it came to me, rooted it up in water and converted it over to the semi-hydro, and it's actually starting to put out a little bit of new growth. Hopefully you guys can see that down there. Little tiny bit of new growth down there, and then obviously some new growth up here as well. One new leaf and pushing out a little bit of new growth there, and maybe even a little bit right there. So this one didn't necessarily push out that new growth immediately, but I've had it underneath my grow light on and off now. Like I said, now that it's a little warmer, a little sunnier, it's here in my windowsill doing great, and actually starting to put out some new growth finally, and I think it will continue to do very, very, very well here in the semi-hydro. All right, here in my other window, you can see is a little bit newer to me, Hoya Variegata. So this plant I've actually had horrible luck with. I ordered one and it didn't come as a variegated, and it didn't come as a YDI, it came as my Hoya Shepherdi. Still an awesome plant, but not what I had ordered. Then I ordered a cutting from a reputable company, and just happened to order it at the wrong time before that first cold snap in October here in Colorado, and it froze and it did not survive. This one seems to be a little bit more delicate than some others. So actually a subscriber went ahead and sent this cutting to me now that it's a little bit warmer, and I'll go ahead and link his Instagram somewhere here in the frame, hopefully. So thank you very, very much for that cutting. It's doing fantastically. And yeah, this just came just about a week ago now when I'm filming this. So I will see how this one does, but I'm very excited to see how this one grows for me. All right, and up here is another little Hoya that came to me as a cutting. This one is my Hoya Polynora, or my fishtail Hoya. Came to me as these two leaves right here as a little cutting. This one actually I got probably early fall, before it was really getting cold. Actually had pretty decent success getting this one to root up in water for me. I was a little worried just with it being a little bit more of a rare Hoya. I wanted to make sure it was doing well. But once it was rooted up in the water, I went ahead and converted it to LECA. Again, didn't really do a whole lot for this winter season, not too much of a surprise. But now that the days are a little bit longer, the weather's a little bit warmer, we have all of this new growth here and a little tiny bit of new growth here. This one has been a little bit under the grow light, but not very much. The Polynora doesn't like that really bright, direct sunlight, and so I didn't want to risk burning it, but I would give it an hour here or there just to boost a little bit, hopefully, of that growth. But now that, like I said, the days are warmer and longer, it doesn't need that. So it's just sitting here, putting out tons of beautiful new growth. And look at how glossy, how beautiful. So yeah, this one does actually really, really well in the LECA because it does like that more moisture, higher humidity. So this one does extremely well. Highly recommend putting this one in LECA if you can. And right next to that is another cutting that I got from that same subscriber. I don't remember the name of this one off the top of my head. It is a newer to me variety, so I'll make sure I put that on the screen for you guys. But again, it was beautiful. It was rooted up nicely. And so I just stuck it straight in the LECA. You can see it's got lots of new growth. That is not from me. Again, I've only had these cuttings in my house maybe a week now at the filming of this. So this is all the way it came, but I do have them in the LECA, and I'm excited to see how they grow as we go through the summer season. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. And like I said, if you have any other ideas for videos, questions you have, please leave those in the comments below, and I will try to get those filmed here in the next couple of weeks while I have a little extra time at home. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video very soon. Bye.